in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank here on AM 1160 WCCS 101.1 FM. And he is Hank Knerr from IUP Lively Arts. One more time, sadly, before the curtain falls.
Yes. Wow, that sounds so final, but I guess it is. Yes, next Friday is my last day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be retiring.
You enter into retirement. You going to hang around these parts?
Yeah, I'm going to stay in the area. I've started a business, raisingarts.com, to help agencies and artists, managers, small organizations, arts and all, to help them consult and some graphic design work and copywriting. So get that off the ground, and yes, we will be staying in the area.
Good. I can assume then that you're going to be available to help whoever your successor might be to learn the ropes.
Yeah, to a point.
Yeah, because you do want the person to make the department their own.
I do want to retire, and also, yes, I'm sure the new person will not want me around too much, just to fill in some of the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
But the search is underway. Interviews have started, I believe, and should be a replacement in fairly short order.
Yeah. For people who don't know, the job as director of IUP Lively Arts,
right? Executive director, yes,
is quite involved, and is not just the idea of us making a few calls and shuffling a schedule a little bit and bringing people in.
Right.
You have to come up with a vision, first of all, and I'm sure that you have many people who have helped you to sort of build the department into what it is.
Well, there have been, all my deans that I've had, from John Heyer through my current dean, Michael Hood, they have been tremendous in my staff. And Dave Sertaski, who has been with me since day one, he says he's the last man standing, and that's true. I think he's the most, not the most senior person in the college, but with the most seniority in our College of Fine Arts. And, the various assistants that have come through and helped make this happen. But and Jeff Wacker in our Arts and Education division, and right now Kate Planiski as Performance Services Assistant. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of gratification. But now it's going to be a lot of time off for me.
There you go. Well, not from the sounds of things with what you've got going there in your private life. So.
Well, no, and also it's not going to be very easy going for those that I leave behind, because we do have an entire season planned. It's been announced. We announced it at West Sylvania. People are excited about it. We'll be getting a brochure out within a couple weeks. There's a bunch of different things that I'll be leaving behind for the new person, a postcard, some other marketing materials that we'll have all ready to go. The season starts up September 26th with Pablo Sanz Villegas as Spanish guitarist, and goes on from there.
Well, not the least of those things that you're going to leave behind is an entire season's worth of performances through all of the platforms of IUP Lively Arts. The Ovations series is the one that gets the big headlines, but putting together an entire schedule throughout the various different platforms is a challenge that you have taken on for this one last time. So let's talk about the schedule that you've put together for this coming season.
Well, you're right. Ovations is the premiere series, but we also have Theater by the Grove, which for Theater by the Grove, music theater, sound choices, and music theater at the University Museum, Kip Gallery, all of those will be online really shortly. Since I leave next Friday, they will be online and available and sealed and delivered by next Friday.
Okay.
So the to-do list is long, but we have Pablo Sanz Villegas, and then for the season, we have a couple dance companies. We have got Kun Yang Lin Dancers, a modern dance company out of Philadelphia, but based in Asian tradition. We also have Les Ballets Trocaderos de Monte Carlo, which is a very French-sounding name to say they're a bunch of guys based in New York who dance on point, meaning toe shoes. And they are incredible dancers, and they happen to dress as mostly as ballerinas and taking the point dance to a new point. They're hilarious. I often say they're a combination of Milton Berle, Dame Edna, and RuPaul, but on toe shoes.
On toe shoes.
Yes. So very, very funny, and a show really appropriate for the entire family. And then we have the Hot Sardines, which is a great 40s, 50s swing band kind of feel. We've been talking to It's a Wonderful Life committee about doing something 40s Christmas style around that period, which would be December 6th is the concert. They'll have the jazz ensemble with them as well, our IUP jazz ensemble, as well as doing some Christmas tunes. We have Black Violin, which is a duo of violinists that were classically trained. They're African American, and they have a group behind them that will give some raucous music to Fisher Auditorium. Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra comes back in October.
Yeah.
With the with Manfred Honeck at the podium again, and for the second time since we've had a partnership with them. And one of the pieces is the Eroica Symphony, Beethoven's Eroica Symphony. Then we have The River, which is by Ethel and Robert Mirabal. Very new-sounding contemporary jazz, folk, a lot of different sounds as part of this. Robert is a Native American flutist and flute maker. Jacob Shaw and Lisa De La Salle, two different concerts. One is cello, and Lise is piano. They're from Europe. That'll be some young, vibrant classical music. Haya Migration Concert. Haya is actually out of Beijing, China, and this will be Indiana will be their U.S. debut.
Oh yeah,
they've never performed in the U.S. before.
From Beijing straight to Indiana,
right? And they are an incredible hit over in Asia. Sell out all performances, so hopefully we'll get a great crowd here. And I'm really excited to say that next year the Wilfred E. Hellwig Distinguished Artist will be Ben Vereen.
Yeah,
stage, screen, television, a really amazing. I was going to say young man. He's not as young anymore in age, but I've met him a couple times. An incredibly vibrant, dynamic performer, singer, dancer, showman, and we're going to assemble a special choir for him, as well as it's going to be a 30 voice choir from people in the area and on IUP campus, and then also a special jazz ensemble to perform with him. So it'll be one of a kind. He's actually performing at Manchester Craftsmen's Guild in February with this show, Stepping Out with Ben Vereen. But our show here will be totally different, so hopefully people can come to both.
You know, it's interesting. Ben Vereen, of course, in his lifetime, has been such an iconic performer, both on stage and on screen. But he has had such physical challenges and has overcome them all.
Right.
And my understanding is just, after the announcement that he was going to be coming, I was looking into what he's been doing lately. He's stronger than ever.
Yeah, doing all kinds of TV shows and specials and, on several boards. He's an incredibly dynamic person and very generous with his time and talent. And then, of course, what everybody wants to hear, the finale of naming our season is always the musicals. We do have one in the spring and one in the fall. Both are going to be in Indiana for the very first time. And both are Tony Best musical winners. So in October 12th, we're going to have Jersey Boys. A little warning, it contains some strong language. People are surprised about that because their songs, The Four Seasons, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, which the show is about, does not contain any hard language, but you get four boys from Jersey, and you're going to get some colorful language.
You couldn't resist saying Jersey.
I couldn't. What exit? And then in the spring, actually a show fit for the whole family, truly, is Kinky Boots.
Yeah.
And Kinky Boots has a theme of acceptance, and yes, there are again drag queens in the show, but there's not one single foul word in the entire show. I've seen it twice, and I've paid attention to that. And it's just such a fun show. Cyndi Lauper music, colorful, high-stepping, and emotional. So that'll be in April. So 2 great musicals, again, that have never been here. This is the first time they've been available for our venue for single night engagement. And so I'm really excited about the season, and whoever my successor is, I'm trying to make sure I get a couple comp tickets for every show.
Well, as we think about putting a schedule together, which is this is the final season that you have put together yourself, I'm sure the temptation when you initially begin this particular role that you've been performing for all these years is to look at the sort of the candy store type of philosophy of all of these shows that are available and say, all right, I'm going to take that one, this one, and that one.
Yeah.
And that's fine if you have that sort of funding, but who does? And number 2, part of the mission of IUP Lively Arts is not just to put on the big spectaculars,
right,
but to really appeal to people in an arts sense and to give them a taste of other cultures.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, there's a couple on here, like Les Ballets Trocaderos, which are usually called the Trocs. That's something I've wanted to bring in for several years because they are so phenomenal and so funny. It worked out this year for routing that we were able to afford it, and a couple others. But the one thing that I hope I leave with is that people do trust the lively arts, and even if it's not a name that they recognize immediately, that they know it's going to be quality. I mean, we say one of our slogans the last couple of years that we'll hang on to a little bit longer is because you deserve the best. And these are the best shows and that we can bring in, and the best shows that are in the area at the best prices. We are less expensive than almost anything in the immediate area, as well as certainly the regional area. And one thing we're going to be doing next year, because the student co-op is no longer going to be handling tickets, their tickets are going to go down the Kovalchik complex, but we're going to handle our own tickets out of the ticket office in the Performing Arts Center. So we've established our ticketing fees and our policies, and we will also be the lowest ticketing fees in the region. And we always have free parking, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's free parking. So there's a lot of issues here, a lot of things that really make it easy to come to, more affordable, but the best we can find, and the strongest both artistically and for entertainment purposes.
So you'll be rolling out the materials soon, and folks will be able to see the subscription prices and different packages and be able to get themselves all lined up for the coming season.
Exactly. Anybody that's a subscriber or a past donor should have received or will receive within a day or two an advance mailing. We are finalizing the brochure in the next couple of days. We do have a long sheet that we passed out at West Sylvania for Ovations that they can get. Our website, iup.edu/livelyarts, does have the updated Ovation series, and like I said before, within the next few days we'll also have the updated events for all the other series.
Just a moment or so left with Hank Knerr from IUP Lively Arts. I just want to thank you. You and I have been doing these radio things since down at the other building for over 20 years.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We've been talking a lot.
And we hardly knew you.
Back then. Well, I've been here for 28 years, and it really has been a wonderful career, and thanks to the radio stations for all the incredible support you've given us over the years. The one thing that I decided on when I moved here, or I was looking for anywhere that was a little bit more rural than when I was working in like New York City or somewhere like that, because I felt the people would appreciate it, understand it, and then I could make a difference. And hopefully over the 28 years with everybody that's helped, all the media outlets and all the incredible sponsors that we've had and the private donors, it really has made it possible. And my dean already knows this, and I think the president already knows this, but my 28th year in a row ending in the black. So you can't do much better than that.
Yeah, absolutely not. Hank, it's been a pleasure.
Same here. Thanks, Todd.
It's Indiana in the Morning.